Yeah, Krishmurthy. Can you tell me about yourself?
Myself Krishna. So I have total 5.7 years of experience in UI development. Initially, I did UI development along with PHP MySQL as a full stack development, and I moved into Angular development. So I started to work from Angular 2 versions, Angular 2 plus versions. Okay. In Angular development, my roles and responsibilities like converting the wireframes to HTML templates and writing the business logics and services components pipes for that, and integrating the third-party plugins like Dependencies, AM charts, height charts, and movement images. So these kind of plugins included. And additionally, I used to deploy my application by using the Jenkins.
Okay. Okay. So, so, what is the version you are working? Angular.
Yeah, recently I worked in Angular 7 because my project is like created with Angular 7, so that is the latest version I worked.
Angular 7. Okay. You aware of
Yeah.
latest version like Angular 13 or 10?
Uh, in Angular 13, so there is some IVV engines support they like included,
Okay.
but the template syntax will change. But I didn't get a chance to work on it.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Fine. Just I ask you for awareness purpose only. So the Angular 7 it's fine. So
Yeah.
okay. So let me move to technical some questions. Okay. So So how Angular internally it's working? So can you explain me?
Internally, actually, it has basically application starts from package.json. So in
Okay.
the package.json, when we start the npm start, so means it's a life cycle, right? Life cycle or bootstrapping you are asking.
No, 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 no. I'm asking about internal functional, like how Angular internally working, like main.ts. So how
Yeah.
it is going to start? So internal.
Okay, internally in main.ts we used to mention the bootstrapping module. So bootstrapping module by default it will be like app module.
Okay.
So in the app module we will get the all means or get the root component. So that is the app component,
Okay.
and we'll get the router file. So there we used to define the paths under the component name. Then we use the services as a dependency injection. Okay.
Okay.
So this is so when we load the Angular application, so initially index.html gets loaded.
Okay.
Then the dependency in the third party system. And third step is like it will go to the main.ts,
Okay.
main.ts.
Okay.
So there it will be like app bootstrap module will be there.
Okay.
Then actually it will go to the app component.
Okay.
Then it will go to the paths component. So whatever the URL we are entering in that process, so it will like go to that specific component and it will load the child component and it will load the services. So this is the bootstrapping in Angular. And our entire application will be like binded inside the index.html in app root tag. So app root tag is the root of all of our application. That displays all of our Angular application getting binded.
Yeah. Good. So can you explain the different type of pipes?
Yeah, we have built-in pipes
Okay.
and custom pipes actually we used.
Okay.
So built-in pipes we have the date pipe, decimal pipe, and async pipe.
Yeah.
Custom pipes we use for safe HTML means render the HTML with the inline style. So we use the safe HTML. So there we have the safe HTML or safe URL. So
Okay.
these kind of properties we import from the Angular process.
Okay. Okay. So, have you used date pipe? So, for example, converted into like UTC zone or something like that. So, how you are converting the
Date
date
any
time? Yeah. So, in the backend team, they are given timestamp. So,
yeah.
yeah, in the UI itself, we need to format some like time zone with some format like DDMMYYs, and then how do you convert these things?
So basically, there are two methods there. Most of the things can be done by using the pipe. So date and the pipe symbol. Then it starts from the date format. So whatever we want, so DDMMY or MMDDY. So this format. And second method is like to do some date operations or date related functionalities. We using the moment.js. Okay. So moment.js is useful for the doing the date conversions and calculating the time periods between the two different dates and durations. So we are using moment.js.
Yeah, fine. Okay. So can you explain the different type of directives?
Yeah, actually we have the structural derivative and attribute derivatives is there. So structural derivatives is like it will like modify the structure, it will like work in the angular structure, means HTML terms. For example, we can say ng if and ng for. Okay, so we are only using ng if and ng for, it will dynamically bind the DOMs, means dynamically bind the angular HTML tags or HTML tags. Okay, when we are using the attribute derivatives, so it will like only specific to the specific attribute of the particular tag. We can say like ng style, ng class. So this is the example for attribute.
Okay, fine. So what is the use of router outlet?
Router outlet that is used to bind that routing module, routing module, right? To perform to bind that path into that component. So we are using the router outlet. Basically, that is an outlet tag to bind that our path.
Yeah. Okay. Is it possible to use multiple router outlet in our application?
Based on some conditions, we use some two different router outlet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it possible, right?
Yes.
Okay. So can we create custom pipes? Is it possible?
Yeah, can able to create the custom pipes by using the at the rate of pipe and pipe transfer.
Okay. What is observable?
So observable is used to make the asynchronous API calls. So basically, observable by using observable we can actually emit the values to the map and subscribers. Okay. So in observable we can pass the multiple values and we can able to cancel that observable calls by using the unsubscribe. Yeah.
So what is the use of subscribe?
Actually, observable for methods mostly it will be like an ideal. So until it will be like triggered by the subscriber. Basically, subscriber is to trigger the observable methods to get the value from the observable. So observable mostly is to emit that value and it will send the value to the subscribers.
Okay. So fine. What is the usage of at ViewChild decorator pattern? So what is the usage of at ViewChild annotation? Yeah.
So at ViewChild is used to get the value of a particular input field from the sibling components.
Okay.
Yeah. Probably and we can able to
go ahead. Sorry.
And by using at the rate view input side, we can able to get the reference of some DOM element also. So in HTML we can put as some input tag something. Then we can able to get the reference of DOM by using the at the rate of view input side. View side. Yeah.
So what is event emitter?
At the rate of output, so that is called event emitter. So when we performing the data communication between the components like parent to child, we are using the input decorator. In child to parent, we are the output decorator via event emitter. So on click up or on some API call is completed, then we using some event emitter to send the data back to the parent component. So that is event emitter.
Okay. Have you used the ng after view init?
NG after we need for getting the API call values of the child component.
Okay.
Let's say in child component some APIs running, but it's like it keep on changing. Okay, so in that time it is to perform the change redirection. So that time we use NG after we need.
Okay. Okay. Have you worked charts, right?
Yeah, I worked prime charts, aim charts, and high charts.
Game chart and eye charts. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, have you involved like dashboard, like bar chart, pie chart, like that, right?
Yeah, actually,
Voice breaking, Krishna.
I'm mostly interested to work on the dashboard, so that's like a more creative thing. So we are doing.
Okay. 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 Have you worked with like live streaming data, like in the
Live
dashboard
streaming
itself?
data in AM charts, they're providing one live streaming data. So we have to mention that URL, API URL. So
Okay.
then it will like automatically
Okay.
URL with some payloads. Then it will automatically stream that value from that URL. So yeah, the AM charts will handle.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Can you explain the authority of NG module? So in the NG module, have like a list of like some types, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, can you explain?
Yeah.
So what is the
At
usage?
the rate of yeah, actually at the rate of NG module,
Okay.
is to provide the means we are used to put imports,
Okay.
declarators and providers.
Okay.
In the imports, we used to import the dependency module
Okay.
and third-party libraries. We used to import in the under the import section. Okay, under the declaration section, we used to import the components.
Okay.
So what are the means process part of that module? So
Okay.
we used to import that. Sorry, my battery is going to down. Okay. We used to import the components into the declaration section. So in providers, we used to under the providers we used to put the services. So what are the services we are going to use under that module? We are importing the services.
Kushmati, your voice breaking now. Check with
Yeah.
your voice low, very low.
Uh,
Check with your headset.
okay, so let
Still
me
breaking.
connect from my mobile. So right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
let me connect from my mobile. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine now. Fine, I think.
That is fine. Shall I connect from my mobile?
Yeah, now fine, I think. Okay, good.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm saying like so okay, under in provider section we have to import put the dependency injections like services we have to put in service.
Okay. So, how do you handle error? For example, in the backend team, they are given like 200 or something like that status thing. How do you handle error status?
Okay.
Yeah,
Actually, on
error
error,
handling. Yeah.
yeah, on error. So actually, in RCS we have the map on the in that map on success and on error we are using it for the error handling. If while calling the API, we checking. That success is the 20 means sorry the 200 the API status is 200 then it is like success if the API status is not 200 then what are the values we are getting like 401 or 501 some server issue then
Okay.
we should to identify the errors by using the on error method then we should to put some throw the custom message like what are the period code we are adding inside the HTML. Okay, so we should to put the code into the inside the NG template. So from there, you should to pass that value. Okay,
What is ng template?
So actually in HTML, so what are the codes? In the repeated codes. So we should put the repeated codes into the common one by using the ng template. So inside the ng template, we should put the repeated codes.
Okay.
And template data, reach the pass data. And by using the template name, we can reuse the same template and across the HTML.
Yeah. So what's the usage of form control? So can you explain what's the usage of form control?
Form control, yeah, we are.
Your voice it's blurring.
We should put some common code. So what are the repeated code we are using? Let's say some 5 to 10 lines of code. We are repeating the same 10 lines code in multiple places in our HTML.
Okay.
So we say to put that code inside the ng template, and we put in the ng template in other places. So this is how we are. This is the purpose of ng template.
Okay. So how did you pass param, like query param or like path param? So in the backend itself, we need to pass param, right? So
in the router, so we should to put this router query params of that object.
okay.
So what are the values we have to? Yeah, we have to send and we use along with that URL. We should to navigate. Okay, so we just taking that current URL and we just adding that query params from the current URL. Then while navigating to next URL, we just passing that back.
Okay. So okay, fine. So can you explain the HTTP client usage?
HTTP client is used to make the API calls. So whenever we writing the services, so that time we importing the HTTP client.
Okay.
So in that HTTP client, we can find the methods like get, post, put, and get. So this kind of method we can find. Okay. And additionally, we can pass the headers, auth tokens, and allow origin cross. So this kind of values we can pass.
Okay.
The HTTP options.
Okay. So how did you make router links in the UI?
Router links, we should specify mostly in the K tag, that anchor tag.
Okay.
That paths and all we should define in the Angular routing.
Okay. Then how did you make routing in the TS file itself?
Then the time we should import the Angular router.
Okay.
Then we should declare that router inside a constructor as a parameters constructor.
Okay.
We have to instance that router. Then we using this router navigate of that path. Okay. In the array path. Okay. Inside the sector, we should put that path. Then it will navigate into the specific path.
Okay. Fine. So have you used material design or bootstrap design?
I used bootstrap, and along with that, I used the semantic UI. In semantic UI, I use the NPM version of semantic UI, means ng2 semantic UI. Okay. So that provides lots of features like a built-in autocomplete search. So whenever you're doing some searching, so it will provide the autocomplete search feature and data tables, and the products, alert boxes, pop-up messages. So this kind of things, it's like by default, it's having lots of features.
Okay. You are not working in material design, right?
Material design, apparently speaking, actually in our project, we didn't get the requirement of material design. Okay. Maybe if I got the opportunity to work on material design, then I will learn and work on it. Okay. Material design mostly it's like buttons. So when we click on the buttons, some kind of wave efforts like used to go under some kind of light. So this class they used to put in the material design.
Okay. So because our project mostly used material design, and that's what I'm asking you. Okay, fine. Okay. So in the TypeScript, so how did you check null values?
Check the null values. We are using the loaders.
Okay.
For there is one function called underscore dot is null.
Okay.
Then we are or we can use the type of that null. So this is the two ways to check the null values.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So what is the difference between package.json and package.lock.json?
In the package.json, whenever we install in the new npm package, so that time it will specify the package name with its version with the caret symbol. Okay, and if we do the npm I after means committing the code and we are doing the npm I from the next step, so it will like install the highest version, then the required version whatever we want. So to lock that version, we are using the package.lock.json. So it is like is to keep the versions of that package whatever installed, and is to keep the dependencies. So obviously some npm package have its some dependencies, right? So the package lock.json is to keep that references inside it, means dependency references.
Okay. How to pass JSON structure? JSON object, yes, sir.
Parse, right? Parse.json of, so that method is there.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can use it.
Okay. Okay. So suppose we want to so all the dependencies it is mapped into package.json. So I want to add like material design or bootstrap design. Then how do you add in the package.json? Then how did you install?
By using the npm I or npm install that package name. So from that we can able to add. Otherwise manually we can add inside the packages. So we mention the package name with the version. Next time when we do the simply npm I, okay, you don't need to specify any package name, and then that time it will install.
Okay. Okay. So okay. So what is the usage of any data type?
So any data type is like whenever we are not sure about the type of data, like whether it's array, object, or a string. So that time we used to put the any.
Okay.
Means we are now in the data type, then we used to put a class model file or interfaces.
Okay. Fine. So one scenario based question. Okay. So in the backend they are given like employee list, like employee list of objects, like each employee object have like employee ID, employee name, employee ID, role name, like that, age, like that. So I want to fetch only the employee name appending with comma. So how did you achieve this logic? So in the employee name appending with comma separated. So all the employee names I want to append with one string in comma separated. So in the backend developers they are given like employee list. In the each employee list have many employee objects like employee ID, employee name, like that. So I want to get only employee name using appending with comma separated string. So
yeah, we can achieve.
Yeah.
There are two ways there. In normal loop and map operator, we can use it.
Okay.
We can loop through the template object. Then inside the new array, we can put that. We can push that employee name itself. So by default, it will like in comma separated. Okay. So that is the first method. In the second method, using loaders, that is like a very simple line. In the one itself, we can achieve like underscore dot map. Then let's say saying employee list. I'm taking that whole employee list, comma that employee name. So that is the second paragraph.
Okay.
So it will return
Okay.
that all the names in a array
Okay.
with commas.
Okay. Okay. So one more scenario based questions. Okay. So we have a infinitive list, like infinitive employee user list. Then how do you achieve the performance in the UI itself? Like so we don't know infinitive records. Then how did you apply the pagination mechanism?
Yeah, actually, to achieve the pagination mechanism, we are using the prime ng.
Okay.
So in prime ng, we used to put that whole data.
Okay.
Then we can set so how many records we want to see per page. Okay, let's say it will be like 5 or 10.
Okay.
So put that, then it will like automatically divided with the whole length of data. Then it will like put the pagination.
Okay. Okay. So I worked with Angular 2 itself, right? Okay. So for example, you are developed Angular 3 or 4 version. Okay. So customer wants to migrate Angular 8 or 10 like that version. Then what are the steps you have to follow? Can you explain me? So obviously it is showing some deprecated issues. Then how did you resolve those things?
Okay, so initially it starts from the node modules. Actually, yeah, in node modules there will be like Angular core is there, right? So we have to update that package. So that's the first step we have to do. It's our wish. We can start from the Angular JSON or package or JSON. It's like our wish. But so these are the places we have to change. So initially we have to change the Angular core part. Then there will be like Angular core, Angular browser module. So these are the packages we need to change it along with its versions. Okay, let's say if you want to update 8.0, then we have to put that version inside that Angular semantics. Okay, so that is the step. And additionally, we have to, if we want to add the AOT compiler, then we have to write it in now the TS config, like we have to use in the AOT compiler. Sometimes from Angular 2 to 8, then it will be like showing some other issues also. Let's say earlier in Angular 2, we have the template tag only. Okay, but in Angular 4 to 5 plus versions, they introduce ng template. So these are means we have to manually identify it. Then we have to fix it. So there is no automation instruction. Means automation step. But in the latest version nowadays, means in 6 or 7 versions, they gave a simple step like by using the Angular CLI. By giving ng update. Okay. Angular update, then it will update current, it will update our version, older version to our specified version or the current version.
Yeah, fine. That's what I'm expecting. Fine. Okay, so you know Enum in the TypeScript, Enum.
That is non-primitive directives. Enum.
Yeah. What's the usage?
Enum, actually, sorry, I studied, but I little bit forgot it. Means it's like a nested object, so we are using it. Sorry, yeah, I got it. So yeah, it's like related to constant. So in constant, it's related to constant. In constant, we should to give only one value, but whereas in enum, we can give multiple values as an object. Means it's like fixed means constant values.
Yeah, fine.
Means
fine. So how did you convert string data type to float data type? So is it possible? For example, backend developer, they are given string data type like 12.5 values in the string format. Then how did you convert into floating or double?
We can use decimal 5, otherwise we can use the decimal 5% it will achieve. So these things by converting into the decimals, like with how many decimals you want, like 2 decimal, 3 decimal, this can be achieved by decimals. Other than we can use the underscore of 2 numbers. means it will convert the string into the number.
Okay. Okay. So are you used to lambda arrow function?
Arrow functions, yeah. Actually, arrow functions is like little bit different from the normal function. In normal function, we should to put the function name,
Okay.
and we should, sometimes is the return statement. So these are things is required in the normal function. But in arrow function, we no need to put the function name.
Okay.
We no need to put off the return statement. By default, it will return it.
Okay. So can you explain some commands like how did you generate component services and module? So list out some command.
First, actually, we are using the ng new project name to create the new project. Then we are using the ng generate component, or we can simply put the ng gc means command. Ng generate component, then the component name, then underscore dot flat, then it will create the root level. If you put that path, then it will create that component inside that some specific there. And then we can use the ng generate service, then we can use the ng generate pipe. So these are the commands we are using.
Okay, fine. So how did you design autocomplete?
Autocomplete, there are several npm plugins there. Or out of the box, if you want the future, like we can use Bootstrap. In Bootstrap also they are providing some autocomplete. Else you can use a semantic UX. So semantic UX they are providing the autocomplete. There are many ways. In Prime NG also they are providing. So whichever we want it, we can use it.
Okay. So in our application we are using different type of extension like CSS, LESS, and like that file. So yeah, what's the usage of LESS?
So that is the list. So list is like we can say like a preprocess of CSS. We can say SCSS. Yes. Okay, so that is to write the nested level of code. So in CSS we can able to write the code like in one by one in a fact only. But in SCSS we can use we can able to write the code in the nested ways. Okay. So the use and code reusability is there. Let's say if you need to put the color code in every places, we can put the color code in one common place that is called a variable file, and we can put that variable name wherever we are also use that color.
Okay. So, for example, we have designed one material box. Okay, so how did you align that position using CSS? Like material card,
Material card align.
Yeah, align. I want to the position in the using CSS. Just give me the syntax.
Position means your position absolute is there. You have an absolute position, then a relative fixed and static.
Okay. In the style sheet, we are using inline and outer style sheet also. Then inline style sheet, inline. Yeah. This is the correct way we are using inline. Is it correct way? How did you maintain the code cleanup? Like, so many developers using inline style sheet. So is this the correct way?
No, actually inline is not correct way. So instead of using the inline, we can write that code in the component level. We have one style sheet is there, right? For each component, obviously have some CSS file. CSS file. So it's better to write that CSS into that style file. Okay. So writing in inline is not a good thing.
Okay. Because many developers for urgently purpose using inline style sheet. So that's what I'm asking you. Okay. So what is the usage of shared module? Shared module?
Yeah, shared module. Inside the shared module, we used to put that alert boxes, pop-ups, or progress bars. Okay. And then we should import that. shared module into our main app module, then we can able to use that shared module across our applications or components.
Okay, good. So in the final deployment environment, okay, so how did you get build in your application? So after given the command, then what happened inside your project?
Okay, so it will create the dist folder.
Okay.
So in the dist folder, all the TypeScript codes, okay, all the TypeScript codes will be transferred into the JavaScript code, and it will return some main.js,
Okay.
and it will give the industrial HTML that will be like compiled SM.
Okay.
Then we have the asset folders with the image files or script files along with that. So we'll get the dist folder.
Okay. In the inside dist folder, what are the files it contains available?
Mainly we can say the vendor.js, main.js, and polyfilter.js. Okay. Then there will be like index.html. Then inside, then it will have the assets folder. Okay. Then the asset folder we can see that script styles and the images.
Okay.
And for the fonts and font files also we can find it.
Okay. So in the all our TS file, it is converted into what extension file?
.js.
Yeah.
Means main.js.
Yeah. Fine. Okay. Have you worked with some animation kind of things? Like
animation?
Yeah. Like yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Angular animations we have. At the rate Angular/animations, we have the fade in, fade out,
Okay.
And zoom in, support. So this kind of animations is there.
Okay.
So by using this animation, we can apply to the specific div.
Okay. Krishna? Yeah. Okay. Fine. So I covered almost all the things. Okay. So okay. Apart from that, you worked anything like backend? No, right?
Actually, worked in a little bit of Docker container.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually, I wrote on Docker script to deploy the application.
Okay.
And apart from that, I have knowledge of deploying the application using the Jenkins. Means my DevOps means team lead. So he used to give the access of Jenkins.
Okay.
So there will be like experience of jobs to deploy the application. So I have the experience of deploying the application for different environments. Like we have the dev environment, QA environment, or production environment. Okay. So there will be each repository and each different branch names will be there. Okay. So I have.
Yeah, fine. So I almost covered Krishna. Okay, so I will give feedback to Rajesh. Okay. Yeah, maybe he will contact with you. Okay. Yeah. I covered almost all the things. Fine. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Krishna. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.